from the time you're born, they take your soul print right from your foot and put it on your birth certificate, and a corporation was set up under your name. So legally, you're a dead corpse. Legally, you're a slave to a corporation.
So you see your birth certificate, American Banknote Company. When you were born, they took the soul from you. Your parents gave it up willingly, and they put you down as a stillborn, lost at sea, dead. You gave up the land, you gave up the soul that you have. You have to pay for everything now. You can't see it. You're just going to go along as a silly human slave for the rest of your life because you're filthy fucking retarded. Now, you think you're on a ball floating through space as an accident, and that's not the case. The devil literally has your soul in the Vatican. You're fucking lost at sea, legally dead. And you don't have to like it, but you gave up the land, you gave up your soul. And your parents gave it away without even knowing it.
Agriculture and food production industry employed more than 1 billion people as of 2013. That's about a third of the global workforce. While the industry is substantial, a relatively small number of companies wield an enormous amount of influence. According to a report by Oxfam International, Behind the Brands, these are the 10 companies that control the world's food. Swiss-based Nestle comes in first with $103.5 billion in revenue reported in 2013. Unilever Group is a UK and Netherlands-based company that makes food products as well as personal and home care products. They reported a revenue of $68.5 billion. In addition to owning famous soda brands such as Pepsi and Gatorade, PepsiCo Inc. also controls food brands such as Tostitos, Doritos, and Quaker, and employed nearly 250,000 people at the end of 2013. Coca-Cola is among the most valuable brands in the world. In total, sales for the company were nearly $47 billion.
So, again, you get the gist of it. These people have bought up all the food. These people own all the media. So whatever's trending is whatever they want to trend. That's just how it works. That's the advantages, and that's the purpose of why they bought all the media. That's exactly why YouTube is slowly squeezing us out, and it actually seems to be picking up as of late. This is what's trending because that's what they want to trend.
All right, here we've got all these cereals lined out here for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you that all your food has got non-bioavailable iron in it. So we'll start over here with the cornflakes. So here we go. You drop a cornflake on your water, and you take your neodymium magnet, and you see it'll drag it around. Okay. Now here, this is a Rice Krispie. Drop that on the water, and you'll see poof. Yeah, it's so light it's just dragged around. You can probably pick that one straight up. Without even using it on water. Here's a Pops, corn Pops. You see clearly that is magnetic.
Look at this stuff. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's unbelievable to me what they want to push forward. This is what they want you to know, and that's just how it is. Now, again, I put this video up a little more than a week ago explaining all of this, how the media owns everything, how they shut everything down, how they are socially engineering the United States, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It's picking up. They've now come out. They've totally come out with chemtrailing. And it's whether you like it or not, it's too bad. This is where we're going with it. This is where we're at. They're using all their available resources, things like Katy Perry, to push forward this new meme, which is cannibalism. You'll see that this is the new meme. This is the new thing that's buzzing around everywhere. What if you only ate human flesh? Now, I'm at a loss here because I cannot understand why they're pushing this meme so bad. I mean, first we started out with zombies. Everything was zombies. Every show, every cartoon, everything, every video game is zombies, zombies, zombies. We've seen this for about 10 years now. The Living Dead, so forth and so on. The number one show. They're the number one show because that's what they push. That's what they push on people. That's what trending is. Do you see what I'm saying? And there's a reason certain things show up in trending, because that's what they want to push on the populace.
It is a colorless solid that is soluble in organic solvents, but poorly soluble in water. Now you're looking at its genetic makeup, its chemical makeup right here, but why am I showing you this? Because everything since the late 60s went from wood, metal, aluminum, and stainless steel to plastic. It's everywhere.
All right, you pay money to live on free land. You pay money to eat free food. You pay money to drink free water. You have no right to anything. You have to have a license to do anything.
So not only do they get us where we're paying for the right to drink clean water, then there's the aftermath, which is absolutely everywhere, to the point where it's floating around in the ocean and they've done specials on it. It's absolutely unbelievable. Look at this. This is the Earth. Look at this person right here looking for something clean to drink or eat in this disgusting water, and it's an epidemic. It's absolutely everywhere. So why am I showing you this? Why am I screaming and yelling? Why do I sound like this? Because of this little article that snuck out right here. Exposure to BPA might reprogram the brains of turtles, affecting them genetically. And now what is this story discussing? They're saying that they're accidentally, inadvertently, without knowing it, changing the gender or the sex of turtles. Now this is just one little drip that's going to come out, no pun intended, but apparently BPA is a common chemical used in a variety of products. Actually, it's in just about everything, and it exhibits estrogen-mimicking hormone-like properties that raise the concern about its effect on the environment, and it affects the growth, reproduction, and development in aquatic organisms, fish being the most vulnerable. Really? Really? Is that the only thing that's the most vulnerable? Because does anybody remember when this wasn't a thing? Because I do. A few people had tendencies and then they went that route. But then all of a sudden, it's absolutely everywhere. The tiniest fraction of the American population and the world population is gay. And yet it runs everything, absolutely everywhere. There's basically no escaping it. The top videos on YouTube right now are all people parading their children around as transgender.
The man who discovered the cause of cancer like 80 years ago or whatever said, no disease or cancer can exist in an alkaline environment.
And so I do the act of sticking my finger and create another blood brother in my life, as the ancient Indians have done. And I will get another one today. Because I'm not afraid of getting AIDS. We want to get a lot of blood. There we go. Okay? There we go. Now I'm wiping this needle thoroughly in this blood. And I say to my friends Fauci and Gottlieb and Galpin and Gallo and all the rest of those criminals, all right, that this is for the sake of humanity and no other reason. And believe me, it hurts.
live in a land of paranoia. You know, people email me all the time. What is your view on this World War III? And I'm explaining to you that World War II is not even over yet. Japan and Russia didn't agree on islands. It's still going on, World War II. So how do you get to World War III without finishing up World War II? Nuclear weapons are fake. The scientists are drinking plutonium. And AIDS is fake. They're injecting themselves with fucking AIDS, showing you that it's all a hoax. Ebola is fake. Everything on your TV is fake. Just shut it off.
This broadcast did not refer to the atomic bomb, so at this point, the Japanese are not saying it's an atomic bomb. Now here's the next paragraph, very interesting. Other earlier Japanese broadcasts reported only that Hiroshima, southwestern Honshu Army Center, had been raided by a small number of American B-29s with incendiaries and explosives at 8:20 a.m. Monday, Tokyo time. So the first news reports in Japan were saying that Hiroshima was being bombed with incendiary bombs, just like any other city had been bombed with incendiary bombs. The Japanese were not treating Hiroshima any different than any other city. It was just being bombed by multiple B-29s with multiple incendiary bombs. Somewhere the story got changed from it being several B-29s with several incendiary bombs, and it got changed to it being one bomber with one bomb, and it was atomic. So how did the change come?
Decontamination is nothing but scooping it back up and putting it into the bottle. I just now decontaminated my hand. No, I didn't do such a good job. Not good at all. Is it still radioactive? Yeah, that's called residual radioactivity. Now, under the decontamination rules of the government, when you decontaminate somebody like this that's that contaminated, and this is certainly a reportable incident under current DOE regulations, when you decontaminate him, it has to go down a controlled drain so that you don't disperse radioactivity. Do I qualify as a controlled drain? That material that I just ate is not soluble in body fluids.
I pointed out that the moon is a rib of the earth. It's sending down a square wave. It's not what you think.
Now, I took the word moon and I wrote it backwards, and as you can see, it says no ohm. What is ohm? Ohm is the sound coming from the sun. Okay, the sine wave, the sine wave coming from the sun. Then you have Solomon. Well, we know so. Break the word down. We know so is sun. Ohm is the sound from the sun. On, we know what on is, powers on.
The moon is a succubus. It's sucking your energy, not giving it.
But you can prove that the light of the moon is totally different from the light of the sun. The effect it has on foods and plants is different. The actual temperature of the light is different. So if you're in the sun, of course, in the shade, it's cooler than in the sunlight. But in the moonlight, it's cooler in the moonlight than it is in the shade. So if you go in the moon shade, temperature goes up. So it couldn't possibly be reflected sunlight, otherwise it would be warm, just like the sunlight is warm.
The moon is a succubus. It's here to, it's a monkey wrench. It's a fucking monkey wrench. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole on loop, and something has been thrown into that, which is called a monkey wrench.
That is where the moon resides, on the ultraviolet side, and it is an absorber. The moon is not giving off its own light. The moon is not reflecting the heat of the sun. The moon is taking, it is succubus. It is pulling all of the energy that it receives during the daytime, and it is reflecting that once the bright white light goes away, and you are shown the true colors of what this existence really is. This is why when the sun sets, you have the reds and the pinks and the purples, and it's because it's showing you that you live here on the infrared side.
The moon is a succubus, a decoy, a monkey wrench. It's poisoning the well.
You can see the center hole. It will be the living waters surrounding the center hole. These living waters spirals inside the center hole to the black sun.
All right, here we go. Here comes the wave. The wave goes out of frame. The timed frame proves that that wave remains a constant speed as when it starts. There it is. Starting, the camera pan goes above the wave and the wave catches up. This has always been definitive proof. Video engineers, CCD chip designers have all corroborated that is proof. Camera equipment plays no roles in this.
See how Eve, the moon, places her light as it spills inside the living waters, trying to poison us. She's trying to keep us from getting out this matrix. That's what she's programmed to do.
Mother Nature, if you're born into a feminine system, but this system has been taken over, okay? The gridiron has been laid down and you're on the gridiron. You see things that you think is real, but it's not real. You think it's an illusion. It's a trick. All right, that's why the code for the matrix is 010101, infinite amount of 01s and 01s. It's the fucking matrix code. You're being recycled as soon as your soul has left the body. Now you're flashing. Now the moon knows, oh, okay, we got one. Now the Pac-Man's coming out the sky.
The cold light experiment tells you what the moon really is. You take something and you get a laser, and you test it in the moon shade, and you test it in the moonlight, and the part that's in the shade is going to be warmer than the part that's in the light. That is because the moon is draining the energy from this place. It is taking, it is the absorber.
So the sun injects its light into the hole of the center of the plane as it's spinning around and around, creating the seasons, and putting it light into the hole and hitting the black hole sun. So we've got the light sun, which is above our head, which is reflecting back at us all our thoughts and our fears, creating our own illusion.
The Gnostic Nag Hammadi texts contain reports of inorganic beings called archons. They're a type of artificial intelligence infection that somehow seeped into this reality. In Greek, archons means rulers or lords. These beings see themselves as the rulers and enslavers of humanity. Archons hide like energetic parasites in the depths of our psyche. They send currents of low-frequency emotion and thought to our ego and emotional bodies.
And you're dreaming this world. So if you are watching all kinds of crappy shows and your thoughts are full of fear, and like just look at the shows we have today, everything on TV. The dumber you are, you get on TV. We got all these kind of comedy shows that you have to be dumb, and they're all grade 5 level jokes, and they're always talking about violence in movies, and war and death and heartbreak and anything negative. And if this is your picture of reality, then that's what's going to be reflected back in your daily life, because the sun is the consciousness that is basically gathering everybody's consciousness.
Our DNA looks like a cage. Our bodies are made of cells. Our heart is where our soul resides, behind a rib cage, and our chakras and kundalini are energetic centers that can be manipulated by archonic forces. We used to reside beneath our feet, and were somehow taken, manipulated into coming here, fell here, or were just curious and wanted to see what would happen. Either way, we're currently stuck, but we can come back into full awareness of who we are and realize there is a way out.